not dying once. But overall, I think Infused have got a good chance of taking game 3.
Yeah, I
How
mean,
do
the
you feel?
tournament for these two teams, well, one of these teams is going to be on a tightrope for the rest of the tournament. Whoever loses this game is on down to the losers bracket, and that's best of one all the way. So, in some sense, best of one is really like right here and right now, and for one of these unlucky teams for the rest of the tournaments. And it's going to be, I think, a little bit of a sad situation if no South African teams win a game, I mean, win a match, but against a non-South African team. But at the moment, the score is what, 4-1 or something, or 6-1 or something like that. I don't know. South African team's getting pretty dunked in this tournament. They're going to have to make some big plays to get back. Habibi, please, Habibi. We're going to be casting one of those games, I think, after the semi-final and the other semi-final. We're going to be casting one of the the Bravado Emotion game up against the loser of this game, and then followed by the losers bracket semi-final, which is going to be also exciting as hell.
Well, Bronze taking this draft by the scruff of the neck. Invoker and Lycan banned out, so we're not going to see Cook Invoker. He didn't.
Well, yeah, that was some good stuff. That was some good stuff against Bravado Blue in the first game.
Yeah, he didn't do that well overall. I mean, his individual play obviously is great, but let down a little bit by his team. Treant, the first pick there from Bronze. And like you said, a good aggressive hero, but can be played defensively. I mean, we first saw that really from EG, when PPD was running around with Treant, Leech Seed level 1. Long gone are the days of Goblak level 1 living armor and spamming that on your offlane hero or solo mid.
It's weird to see how like one team's abuse of a hero can lead to it, completely just getting banned or getting reworked or getting nerfed into the ground. But yeah, Treant Protect is still a solid pick, and as you said, PPD boots first gaming, running around and just hitting people with Leech Seed at level 1. Here comes the Witch Doctor, so maybe Witch Doctor Tidehunter. Some huge teamfight potential. I wonder if we're going to see that respect ban that we saw in, I think it was one of the South African games against the UK team, where they banned out the Faceless Void. They didn't want the Witch Doctor comboing up. But Brewmaster is going to be the second pick for bronze here, and this is both sides have now got some excellent team fight.
I think Brew and Tide are probably the heroes of this patch. Like, Tidehunter is such a difficult hero to bring down, people leveling Kraken Shell over Gush. His offlane potential, being able to go and stack and farm Ancients once he hits level 3-4 with the Anchor Smash on top of that. And Brewmaster has really found his place in this game. Solo mid, get that level 6 as quickly as possible, kill potential across the board for him.
Have we seen a Brewmaster lose in this tournament?
I don't know. I don't think we have. I mean, I touched on it earlier, where we're not seeing the natural counters to Brew. We've not seen Disruptor in a single game so far, as far as I can recall.
And Disruptor got banned, actually, in that one game, I remember, where against the Tidehunter, and as a result, it couldn't be picked against the Brew.
Okay.
Yeah, the Bravado side, I think, banned it out.
And we haven't seen Silencer get picked up at all either. And we've seen sort of a resurgence of that hero played as a hard carry by teams like Alliance. We did see it start off in the CIS scene as a support, here like people like Vanscore playing that support Silencer, not really working out too well. But once you get Ag's Refresher on that guy, it's absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah, it is. And with the banning out now coming of Dazzle and Viper, one of the so pesky heroes, the kind of the unmanny hero really of Dota these days, Viper and OD. Just don't do it. Don't do it, friends. But we haven't seen OD picked up, have we, in this tournament? We saw, actually, maybe... No, we didn't see it at all.
Yeah, we've seen it twice.
Surprising. Have we? Oh, I didn't cast those games, did I?
We saw Ichigo's team definitely pick it up once, but I thought we'd seen it before that as well.
I don't know. My memory is kind of blurry at the moment. Centaur and Dazzle getting banned out. Centaur's a hero that we haven't seen picked up. Definitely haven't seen picked up in the games that I've cast. 100% hasn't been done. So I am
100%.
100% South Africa hype going to be slamming. Maybe we should get Praise Habibi as a trending Twitter tag. But here comes the Shadow Shaman. Are we going to be seeing Infused go for this push lineup that we kind of saw yesterday? They've got Witch Doctor and Tidehunter, who Witch Doctor's an excellent pushing hero. Tidehunter, excellent counter push hero, but also can be good, very, very strong pushing, maxing up the Anchor Smash and just demolishing creep waves. And then Shadow Shaman, who's, these aren't heroes that are easy to deal with when they're pushing.
I think Tide's main thing with pushing is that he acts like, do you remember the days of Night Stalker and Pudge when they were picked up relatively frequently? They basically force the enemy not to defend their towers because they're just going to get dived by the NS and
Yeah.
Pudge or get hooked away from their tower.
It was
Tide
like tier 1.
yeah,
Tier 1
Tide can go and sit behind the tower while his team are pushing it, so the enemy can't actually converge and defend because they're always going to be wary of that Ravage hitting them and then the rest of his teammates backing him up.
Yeah, so are we gonna? What other heroes could we consider here? Pugner's definitely one. Lycan has been banned out, so none of that can be coming in. Venomancer. Ooh, Wisp going to be picked up by Bronze. So
Wisp Treant.
Wisp Tree, classic. Very, very strong supports, and Bronze maybe do recognize the threat that we're going to be seeing here from Infused, but they're saying, okay, well, our response to that is we're going to be very aggressive on you from the get-go, get you under-leveled, just slam you in lanes, and then we're going to be able to defend these pushes by having a level and gold advantage.
I just wonder now, do Bronze pick up Mirana now to fit in with their Wisp Treant and also to block Infused from getting that as their final pick? Because Richie loves that Mirana, and right now they need something to sit in that role where they can right-click, they can push down creep waves, but also have the potential to kill with arrow. I mean, with Moonlight Shadow as well, when you've got an Invis Tidehunter Witch Doctor running around, it's pretty scary.
This is true, but look at the mobility coming out from Bronze, going for their Nature's Prophet as well. I think that the Mirana is definitely a good pickup here, but maybe they're going to go full push and just go Venomancer. You know, play the EG style Core Mason Venomancer and just farm that in the bot lane and play Tidehunter off lane and just get lots and lots of levels up. But the problem is, like, that just makes the lanes a little bit weak, I think.
Well, something that's also a possibility is Tidehunter sitting in an aggressive tri lane. Because if you have Witch Doctor, Shadow Shaman, Tidehunter, you've got plenty of kill potential, but also it's really hard to harass the Tide down if you're in a defensive tri lane.
They're getting rid of the Morphling. This is also just something that would fit in so well with the high mobility that Bronze have. And Bronze want to just basically be aggressive here, using the power of mobility that they have with the Wisp, the Nature's Prophet, and once the Brewmaster's got his Blink Dagger, him as well. And Morphling would be excellent in this as well. I don't know why Razor, I mean, Razor's also one of those heroes, like you said, that can go to the front lines, just spam out stuff. He's very tanky once he's got up an item or two and has the passive to stop the spells being constantly cast him. But I don't know why Razor was banned out. I would think Razor would actually be a very good pick for the side of Bronze here.
Yeah, especially with that fear factor when you're trying to push towers and your carry's going to get all of his damage sapped, and that's, what's it called? Plasma Field?
Yeah.
Am I remembering correctly? It's
Yeah,
so
it's
good
tough.
at long range just to harass down creep waves.
And also, more importantly, in some cases, just pull the aggro off the tower. Like, you don't sometimes care if the creeps are going ape on the tower. You care more about the fact that you just want to pull them away without dying, without having to move forward into the range of Tidehunter. They're going to go Slark. This is interesting. So Slark going to be... This doesn't seem to fit the draft as well, like the flavor of the draft, but it is going to be a hero that can go in and just kill Nature's Prophet solo, can kill the Wisp solo, and if it goes Orchids, can be a very good initiator onto the Brewmaster.
Yeah, well, it sort of fits what I was saying with the Night Stalker. There's always going to be that fear factor. If the Pugner, Shadow Shaman, Tidehunter are pushing a tower and you don't know where that Slark is, he's always got the opportunity to wrap around behind you and pick off one of your supports before you get the chance to defend. And like you said, with that Orchid, he's also going to have kill potential on the Prophet, so stopping the split push from him is going to be a massive factor for Infused.
And I just have to say at this point, Zoot is currently spamming the Twitch channel with flaming me, so I hate you. That's all I have to say, Zoot.
Phantom Assassin. So PA Treant is a relatively big thing in the UK scene. Basically because PA, is a very weak hero in the lane somewhat, and that living armor just allows her to be so aggressive, blink strike and use the stifling dagger to harass down, and potentially find kills where there wouldn't normally be one.
This is actually one thing that also I haven't said is that Slark good against Tree in some ways because every instance of the Dark Pact takes off one tick of living armor. So, kind of like in some ways how Torrent in Dota 1 used to do 17 individual instances of damage and would slam things. Like
Does it not do that anymore?
I don't think it does as many as it did. I think they count as I think they're all viewed as little dots, and there's only like 3 of them or 4 of them that are
Yeah, I think
dots.
there's 3 of them now, but it used to be what, like 7 or something?
17. It was 17 in Dota 1.
Oh, really? Wow.
Yeah. It destroyed TA. Like, there was... Kunkka TA was quite fun. But yeah, Tidehunter running towards the top lane. And with Slark and what do you think Slark's build is going to be this game? Do you think he's going to go the generic max pounce, or do you think he's going to go a couple more levels early on in Dark Pact?
I
and
don't
just start
know.
pushing the wave down, because the thing is, like, if he goes soaring in this lane, he can just they can push so heavily. Witch Doctor's going to have Voodoo Restoration, one would expect. Like, health is not going to be an issue here. Shadow Shaman also going to be able to throw out at one Ether Shock, or like level 1 or level 2 Ether Shock, and that means that the Dark Pact is going to be able to completely just destroy a lane.
The trouble is, if they take the tier 1 tower too early, then Nature's Prophet can just sit at the tier 1 and hold the creep wave there. I'm just wondering if he might go for more in Dark Pact if they start stacking the jungle for him. Because with the Rasta and the Witch Doctor, there's always the potential to stack the jungle and then rotate to mid to try and take down the brew.
So one ward coming in here from the top lane. Let's just take us through the sides here. I'll take us through the side of Infused. We have Tone in the top lane. Mid is going to be Tyrox as well on the Pugna, as well as Elia on the Witch Doctor. Running around as Cook, looking for a level 1 gang. Probably going to be taking Shackle, one would expect, on the Rasta, and Richie heading towards the bot lane on his Slark. Give me a hard lane, I think.
Cook sitting on high ground, just waiting for the opportunity. Tyrox trying to get as many right clicks in. There's the Shackle. Elia with the cask and the blast as well. Pugna not going to find the last hit, and that's Cook first blood. That's going to be early boots for him.
Yeah, very early boots. The thing is that Cook also could have got one right click in there, but it didn't matter. There was no reason for him to do that. Didn't want to risk maybe Stamp getting thrown out. Rather just going to say, okay, I'll Shackle from Fog, Shackle from Invis. And the timing is pretty good here. He could have actually stacked this camp, I think. Meanwhile, in the top lane, Tydancer taking up level 1 Anchor Smash. Currently sitting at a measly 3 creeps. It's not that bad at the moment.
I think one of the great things about this PA pick, that Stifling Dagger, is pure damage. So it's going to go straight through that Kraken Shell. And then they're always going to have the slow from the Leech Seed and the Wisp to speed up any dives they take past that tier 1.
Yeah, this is true, but it is a melee carry, so Anchor Smash doing the damage reduction, very significant. 60% damage reduction.
And since he's Radiant, he's always got the opportunity. We're going to see him now pull this large camp across. Get as much experience gain as he can, but this Dire Ward has spotted that already. Treant going to get up in his face and stop it happening.
Yeah, meanwhile in the bottom lane we see Elia just standing on the side getting scouted out by some Treants. And they're, yeah, I think if they can pick off John L once or twice in the early game, delay that Midas as long as possible, I think that Infused's lineup is going to have relatively quite a bit of success here.
Yeah, they've got a lot of ways to do it. If they hold them in there with Pounce, there's always the opportunity for Elia to hold the cask for later on, and then give time for Cook to come in with a Shackle.
And the other thing is also, you're going to have to see some good plays from the Nature's Prophet to make sure that he splits his Treants away from his main hero, so that the casks just don't bounce between them. TVG gets second rune of the game, the 2-minute one. Illusion is probably not the best rune that he could have wanted, but still going to be able to maybe micro 1 forward and harass out Turrox.
Well, where's his other illusion gone? Because he's only got one with him.
Bottom, apparently. The Zoot with the big calls. Yeah, I didn't see anything. Yeah, so Richie's just trying to get as much as he can in this early stage of the game. I think in this lane, maybe Orb Venom is a little bit of a mistake, because it's not going to actually do anything because of how defensively John L's playing here. I think this is the type of lane where he maybe goes for early Midas. What do you have to say about that, though? Do you think Midas, this is not the game, or maybe possibly a game that Midas could work out for the side of Infused?
For Slark?
Yeah, it's not common, but he needs up those 2 or 3 items for them to be able to push aggressively.
I don't know. When you look at Tyrox, he's going to have mech 10 minutes in possibly if he continues at this rate of farm. Maybe 12 minutes if it's a bit late. Then they're going to have Tone, who's going to have arcanes and be able to start pushing at level 6. So I think that Richie needs to get online a lot sooner than that. I really liked your idea about Orchid just being able to lock down one of these heroes, Brewmaster, Wisp, whoever it is. So Treads, but he's going to need some HP.
He'll need Treads. He's going to need Shadow Blade, probably. And then he's going to need orchids as well, because otherwise the Brewmaster's just going to see a shadowy fog walking towards him and be like, okay, stop.
Or do we see a Blink Dagger from Slark?
That's actually something that's become a little bit popular in recent times.
Because it's, what, like 1,000 gold cheaper, it gives you greater initiation range, allows you to escape as well because of your ultimate lasting such a short duration. And then it's not counted by a 180 gold item like Dust.
Yeah, this is also true. But it doesn't give you any damage or stats or anything like that. And doesn't need stats or damage as much on Slark because he steals so many stats in the later game.
John L might be in trouble here. Cook looking for the wraparound. Elia gets spotted out. They're not going to be able to get this. John L with those boots just too quick for them. They needed to wait literally half a second longer with Cook on the front lines. Does he have... He's got 1 level in Hex, so they should have gone for that first, rather than the Witch Doctor looking for the cask opening.
And that's a waste of a smoke here by Infused. You were saying that they really, really love the smoke gangs that like always have them bought out, never ever going to let them just fizzle waiting on 3. I think it was in the Bravado game.
Yeah. I think the other team that used to play in the UK scene was Reason Gaming. They were pretty much the same as Infused, constantly buying smokes. And they'd do stuff like with Alchemist Venge, they'd smoke up level 1 and hide in these trees here to try and gang the mid-hero. And then they just, wrap around and find a kill like that. But it's the same with Infused. They constantly look for smoke openings just to move their supports across the map. They don't like sitting in a safe lane, in a safe lane with these 2 supports stacking, pulling. It's just not their style.
More efficient style, I guess you could say. Oh, and a lot of damage coming at you on Stevie. Doesn't have a bottle up, but does have a rune waiting for him top. What's going to be securing that for him? So, do you think we're going to see Pugna trades into Mechanism, or just straight mech straight up?
It could be Arcane into mech, it could be mech straight up. But now Steve has the Invis, level 6, he's got his ultimate ready. Tyrox has to be so careful. And Radiant side advantage, he's going to be able to farm this medium camp here, which is pretty good for him.
Yeah, you also saw the Invis getting picked up there by Steve. And Steve now just breaking it. He needed the regen more. And trades up on Slark now as well. Hunter trying to get towards his arcanes. There's a nice pull happening here. And he's just trying to make this pull happen to the side lane, but Tree's just trying to prevent him as much as possible. And Tom just farming away here, even better than the safe lane Slark and the mid lane Pugna. Is Tom like the kind of the Wazmac of the UK scene, willing to just farm for 50 minutes, no problem?
Yeah. Like him and Gronas are probably the 2 best last hitters in the game. They love farming.
In the game. Wow.
In the entire game. Like screw burning. We have Tom. I think the difference is Tom, he can play those more aggressive heroes and get into the action a lot earlier. Gronas literally does like sitting on a lane and farming creeps for 20-25 minutes until he's suddenly like, guys, I'm actually ready to play the game now.
So interesting thing here, Tyrox has a nice glyph coming out there as the Nether Blast is coming down. So question here, one more hit is going to be denied, and a little bit of a gang coming in mid on Tyrox. He's probably going to be okay here if it's a magic one and get a nice blast off with a nice support coming in. Brewmaster gets a split off. They're just trying to do damage here to Mike. Mike's going awfully low, but not going to be able to get picked off. And Tyrox right in the back lines here as the Fire Panda gets shackled up. Nice heads up play there by Cook. And there's going to be no kills off that. So just that single kill happened early on in the mid lane. But yeah, one thing I wanted to say is Pugna has 2 levels up in Decrepify. That's something that's a little bit unconventional. Normally you see the Nether Ward just maxed out after Nether Blast with 1 level of Decrep. Do you think it was a misclick, or do you think there's some insight behind that?
Well, when you've got level 3 Ether Shock on the Rasta, then you've got Witch Doctor and Tide who can, add more magic damage, and you, really want to kill the Brewmaster before he can get his ultimate off. I guess it's nice to have that extra bit of, damage potential there from the Pugna. But I don't know, I agree with you. Usually we see the max Nether Ward before that Decrepify being maxed. It only adds, half a second duration.
Yeah.
Reduces the cooldown by 2.
So it's pretty much the story for the next couple of minutes is going to be Pugna versus Treant, as Tyrox and Pyrox pushing on the Pugna and Mike on the Treant just going to be trying to defend and attack the towers. Battle of the Defense of the Towers is going to be the name of the game. This Wisp really needs to get up level 6 though, as fast as he can. Like, supports are just so low level. Ooh, some aggression going forward here. And a lot of ball damage coming out on Tone here. One stifling dagger
cancels
attack.
the salve.
Very, very annoying.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
And here's that split push coming in from Bronze. They say, okay, well, you're gonna take our top. We're gonna push towards your mid. And Tyrox is sent back to defend.
But they did
This
apply a
does-
little bit of pressure on top lane on the PA, and now Richie's had some free room to
Yeah.
farm. 1600 gold. I think it's going to be Blink.
If there's anything else, he probably would have bought it by now.
Yeah.
Unless he's going for the classic Slock Radiance, because then you get an ulti of all 5 seconds or something. Radiance.
Classic?
No, it was-
classic Slug Radiant.
The classic Slock Radiance in South African, I'm just joking. No one does that.
No, it's a thing now.
It's
gonna
a thing.
happen.
Okay. Habibi will do it. Habibi's our savior. But yeah, so the problem is because Slock has got max pounds, he can't actually, like, he doesn't have any regen. He's not able to just push the lane, like, now that he's been given a free lane. It's not like if there was a DK or something else farming in the bot lane. DK actually could have worked out really nicely here, I think, for the side of Infused. We saw that EG strat where they tried to just go all in DK. And here's that Blink Dagger. But what do you think about Tom going Helm of the Dominator? Don't you think this is a bit greedy in this lineup? Like, he knows that there's going to be early pressure looking at Infuse's lineup. Can he really afford to spend 1800 gold on just an item giving him a little bit of lifesteal and able to stack?
Yeah, I'm not too sure. I really do like phase drums on PA and then into something like Manta Style or BKP, just to give you that fighting potential, because when you've got level 1 ult, if you get some lucky crits, you have definitely got kill potential. And now,
Yeah.
4 man up here, Tone is level 6, has Ravage online, Tyrox with level 3 Netherward.
Ooh.
Cook actually goes down to Brewmaster at mid, no ulti expended there, has a TP, has Blink Dagger, so they could
Yeah.
definitely defend up here.
Yeah, the whole thing about
Is under attack.
this Tide Hunter is just getting in their face and getting up close and personal. He needs Blink Dagger to be very effective. But speaking about up close and personal,
Top tower.
Richie goes into the top and revealing his Blink Dagger, but not making a kill.
Tower is under attack.
Radiant forced to fortify, 2 of their lanes being pushed in while they're pushing top. They did take the tier 1 and haven't actually suffered any casualties on their towers. But Steve trying his hardest.
Steve gonna probably lead to this tower getting taken or denied, but a little bit of a blunder as 2 TPs went into the bottom and none in towards the mid lane.
Yeah,
There
there's no
goes
way
that
to
tower.
defend it now.
Radiant's middle tower has fallen.
Ilya could have actually defended, but by herself. Might have been a bit risky. And yeah, living armor versus Rust Awards, not a great situation for that living armor.
Plenty of gold going the way of John, though. If he gets all of these, it's what, like 300 gold straight into his pocket?
Dire's bottom tower has
I'm a
fallen.
little bit surprised that they didn't move forward and try make something towards John. And Brewmaster going for the arcane boots this game.
He could potentially buy a Midas here, but do you think he's going to go the same way as he did last game?
I think that maybe, like, given the greedy play by Phantom Assassin going the helm, maybe not. Yeah, I'm more of a fan of treads into drum. Extra attack speed is like significant, although you do get a nice boost from Blink Strike. He's only taken one, or Phantom Strike. He's only taken 1 level in Phantom Strike at the moment.
And with the Wisp, you know, you've got the tether.
Well, look at the wisps on the wisp. So Phantom Assassin's like current attack speed is 229, and when he blink strikes, he gets a bonus attack speed of 130. So that takes it to like maths is hard. So it's 192 plus 130. It's like 320 something. And max attack speed is 400. So even with the tether, which gives like a considerable amount of extra attack speed. Of what is it even? I don't even
Well,
think
with
it's
the
shown.
overcharged
Yeah.
40 attack speed.
Yeah. So still not even max attack speed. Oh,
Pounds of
engagement
Tom.
happening top. But yeah, Blink Strike, as Blink Phantom Strike happens, they also get the living armor. Gonna be just fine to get out. And the balls are
Richie's
doing a
still
lot of
chasing
damage.
this. Oh, they've got the Ravage, but the relocate.
Are they gonna send Tom back here? I think they are. I think they're gonna
Yeah.
fight this like kings.
Well, Bruce coming with the ultimate might find the courier. That courier has big eyes. That's got a full mech on it. Down
Oh.
it goes.
And they're coming back. Ravage comes in as well. It's gonna catch 3. They're gonna try to bring down Tom here. Brewmaster's gonna get his ulti off, and Mighty Morphin Foreskin's gonna be able to get cast down by Elia. And Mike also gonna be a victim. Brewmaster's not gonna be able to make any kills in this fight. Earth Panda should be running for the hills right now.
He's going to be able to blink away. Or, oh, that was too close.
Meanwhile, was it bottom tower takes the fall?
Yeah, Nature's Prophet doing his thing. Going for Orchid straight up. Steve going to clap there on Elia, blink out. Not going to get caught.
That was
That
also
feels-
like a little bit delayed.
Yeah. I mean, that Ravage catching 3 was great, but the PA able to blink to his teammates over in the back end of play and escaping by the skin of her teeth, really big for Bronze.
When there's a lot of TPs coming in towards this top tower, the tower's definitely going to fall, so are we going to try to see a fight coming out here? We're 15 minutes in and there's only been 4 kills in the game.
Oh, you
There's
know
gonna
what
be a couple
Infused
more
to do?
now.
Infused are going for the patented double mech strap.
Oh, classic. Classic. They're going to get some kills here. There's no Ravage up, and a couple of kills are definitely going to go the way of Bronze here. They've already picked up 2. They're going to pick up a 3rd as well here. Nice blocking coming out. Stevie getting right up in their face. And an
If only
aggressive...
they had one mech. Like, what? Tyrox, if you had that mech, if the courier hadn't died, they would have been in such good shape. Like, they got the tier 1, tier 2, took a good fight initially, but the amount of pressure that can be applied by Bronze. Tier 2 bot is taking a lot of damage with that catapult down there. Elia forced the TP to defend. So they gave up a lot more than they should have, Team Infused.
And Cook could be in a little bit of trouble here. It's the Blink Dagger. No, not gonna be able to go for that kill. Rather just taking a casual creep. Yeah, this is looking to be a lot more interesting game than the Bravado one, where Bravado were like from the beginning they're like, okay, we got to go in defense mode. We can't be aggressive. We got to just defend all our towers, and they lost by just over committing to defending one lane when there was multiple lanes of pressure. In this game, some very nice aggression coming out from Bronze. I mean, they got wiped in a team, well, not wiped, three for nothing, and then they said, okay, well, they've used their stuff, they're staying around by our towers, and then went in. The only positive out of that second engagement was that Infused got the top tower, the top tier 2.
Yeah. I think things are going to change though. Like, that courier dying was a massive factor in Infused losing the second fight. Even with the Voodoo Restoration, it's great and all, and Richie regenning with his Shadow Dance. But when the PA can chase from such long distance, the Wisp can help out as well. Brewmaster blinking across, Nature's Prophet being able to pressure bot and then TP in.
Wait, why were you saying that the patented double mech?
Because Tide's going mech and...
No, he's
Pugman's
going pipe. Is he?
He had a mech recipe. He
Oh,
must have
maybe
sold
he's-
it.
Oh, okay. Well, I can't see the courier because dead. I know it's back alive now.
Okay, Tone has a chainmail on the courier and buckler recipe, and then Tyrox has a full mech.
Okay, so it's just the buckler ends and the chainmail.
But
That's
the
it,
Tide
okay.
did buy a mech recipe, and I guess he sold it. But they've done this before, where they go double mech in a push strat, but Mike being caught out there, Shackle and the blast. Cat's gonna fly across. Nature's Wrath trying to do as much damage as possible, but there's the Ether Shock. Nice sentry placed, I guess. No sentry?
Oh, coming in is Mighty Morphin Foreskin, but he's going to be relocating back in 5 seconds here. He's going to get killed before that. CVG does have ulti, but just gets it off at the last second. Tone is in an awkward position here. Can throw out some anchor smashes. Remember to say, I'm out, boys. And nice ulti coming from Elliot. It's going to bring down Tom, and she's
And
just
almost
standing. That was
That
a
Witch
great,
Doctor
great
ward.
script. And the decrypt from Tyrox.
Oh
is
no,
so
Steve
excellent.
blinks into Richie. Richie's gonna find him by the secret shop. What tragic mistake.
And Mike just hovering around here. The mid tower is going to take a lot of damage as Tyrox's mech is doing good work here alongside the heal from Elia. She's almost out of mana though, needs to get up something. She's also picked up a Ghost Scepter of her own, but the decrypt was so good by Tyrox. They were trying to just physically kill Elia, just beat her down, and it couldn't work.
And when the Brewmaster blinked in, the almost instant hex from Cook, That was absolutely massive. He didn't even manage to drop mass serpent wards there. I don't know if he intentionally held it so they can go and push the tier 2 bot or possibly take Roshan now. But if he had serpent wards in that fight, I think they would just 5-man wipe bronze with no problems.
Well, what did they get? 4? Was it 4 or 3? The tree died like from the outset of the fight, and I think there was the brewmaster who died because of the Slark finding him. The PA definitely died. I don't think the Nature's Prophet died though.
Yeah, Nature's Prophet died to Slark, and then Slark killed the brewmaster straight afterwards. Because that Witch Doctor ward killed, well, put everyone so low that the Slark just cleaned up.
So you're saying the Wisp lived in that fight?
I
find that a little
think
bit.
so.
So then it was a 5-man wipe.
Yeah. Yeah, Shadow Shaman killed Treant, then Wisp went down to Tide. Oh, because he solo ravaged the Wisp. Then Nature's Prophet died, and then the Brewmaster died.
Okay, so it was a 5-man wipe. 8 to 5 is the score. Let's have a look at the gold. We haven't spoken about that the whole game. 4,000 advantage, and 2.5 in terms of experience, both going the way of Infused.
Wait, so that means the score was 3 to 5 before that fight? Because
I
it's
think
8 to 5 now.
I think it was 3 to 4, and someone died on the side of Infused in that fight. I don't know who, but I think someone did.
Under attack.
Well, Cook died, definitely, because he didn't get his wards off.
Because it was 3
well.
to 3 after that, 3 to 4 I think after that top engagement, but that doesn't matter. Team's going for a bit of a trade here. Infused going to be taking down the bot tower a little bit behind the timing of Bronze, but you know, Bronze were already at the tower hitting it when Infused were running closer.
Yeah, and tier 1 against tier 2, and this tier 2 for Dire is so important for Roshan contest.
Yeah, and I think that Infused is going to say, well, we got Ravage, we're going to have Blink Dagger in a few seconds, we're going to go high ground. They still have the Mass Serpent wards.
Good timing for PA to pick up a BKB though.
Oh, excellent timing. Just hope he doesn't get sheeped up. I mean, the sheep timing has been so good. Here comes TVG. Ravage comes in straight away. Mike going to get caught up, but the Brewmaster did get his ulti. Tom is in the front lines. Cyclone is the Witch Doctor, although Casks are doing good work. Cook is going to die. The wards on the high ground doing some good work. And here's the Death Ward. It does physical damage. And Mighty Morphin Foreskin going to just live at the edge of the fight. Pretty bad, I think, ulti coming off there by Tree. And Tom's going to get brought down here. This looks like a tier 3 tower is going to take the fall here. Brewmaster can't do very much now. He doesn't have ulti out.
Look at where Whisper's sitting. Still hiding in those trees after going so low. Managed to pop magic wand charges just to escape that death ward. Looks like this is going to be Rax.
Yeah, he's going to ulti back in towards his tower. And Pounce going forward by Richie onto Steve. A little bit of damage coming out. Drunken Brawler, and the Wisp is he going to tether him behind? Oh my word, he tethered him into the most awkward spot. Here they come, rope-a-doping from the back lines. And
That's not
CBG is going to just die here.
Definitely not good.
And Blink Daggers in 2 seconds. We're going to see Blink Pounce. Yeah, so this is looking, excuse the pun, but really dire for Bronze Gaming here. Had to be done.
I've been holding my tongue on that one for like weeks and weeks.
And Richie gonna get out unscathed. Elia, I think her play in the last 2 team fights has been impeccable. In that team fight, it zoned out everyone. No one wants to run into a burning, I hear you man, like going and right in their face.
What do they have to stop her though? Because they're using the majority of their spells and lockdown in the first burst of the fight. Well, they're using Orchid and Overgrowth and Brewmaster spells initially, and then they've got no secondary stuns or disables to stop the Death Ward.
Well, Mike ran down and popped and used his Overgrowth there, and all it did was stop the Death Ward, the last fight.
That was pretty much at the end of its duration anyway.
Yeah, yeah. And look at the damage that comes out from Richie. He's going to pop his ulti here. Run away. He's got a full Skadi up, and it looks like he's going Basher or MKB next. I would think MKB.
Oh, Radiant Jungle Cook has Ghost Scepter. Might get caught out still. That pure damage from Tom and the burn from the Orchid finishing him off. So nice pick off there, but this doesn't open up the map at all.
Yeah, this is just, I think, prolonging maybe by 30 seconds the death cooldown of Cook, and then they're just going to go all mid. Rinse and repeat. Although Bronze are definitely not out of this. They are racks down, but they have the heroes to hold and deal with this type of pressure.
Is it even worth doing Roshan for Infused?
No,
I think PA definitely wants it, so they're going to have to try and push these mid and bot lanes out as far as they can, sort of around here. Oh, in the Dire Ancients, Richie finding Tom. The crits though, BKB popped, healing up by the Wisp. Living Armor on the Wisp actually helping out there quite a lot, but Richie re-engaging here, healing up, Blink Dagger off cooldown in 2 seconds. Going to go for the Wisp, possibly? No. gonna back off.
I think that they need to just go mid now. They need to stop dilly-dallying, because if they're going for picks on heroes, then it's going to give time for Nature's Prophet to split push, maybe get up some items.
Like they've got
that's the
Necro
last
3 on
thing.
the Pugna.
Yeah, what we need to see here is Infused go for the mid tower, and then go back and just kill Rush. Like, they do care about Rush, and just for the simple purpose of denying it from the side of Bronze Gaming.
Now the BKB is on cooldown from PA, so that's a pretty big deal, especially when Ravage is still on the table. Tone's only level 9, but he doesn't really care about levels in this game. He is a walking ultimate at this point.
Yeah, it's also quite a fresh BKB. It's only been used twice, so maybe it would be optimal if he started using it when he doesn't need to, so that the cooldown goes down.
Oh, big Ravage
Ravage-
catching 3! Can they actually finish anyone off though? Blink in from Cookie managed to find that out of nowhere almost. Tom, first to fall. Down goes the tree, and Tom buying back into this, but back into play. Brewmaster trying to cycle it up. Elia, can he finish anyone off? The healing, the voodoo restoration still going through that cyclone. And now down he goes. Steve, still in his ultimate form, and Tom the buyback. GG's call. There's no way of stopping this absolute rampant display from Infused.
Yeah, Pugna, 100% win rates in this tournament so far for Infused Gaming, and the execution is so on point when it comes to these push strats. They make the right decisions, they don't get caught out, they get the items at the right time, and perfect play there by Infused Gaming. So they take it 2-1. That puts them in the winners bracket final, going up against the winner of 4Love versus one other team.
It should go.
Oh yeah, it's Ichigogo, go! I'm supporting Ichigogo for that match, just because they have such an awesome name. But yeah, this has been the Bravado Brawl, sponsored by Bravado Gaming. Check them out, bravado.com. Also check out Zoot at ZLive Tweets on Twitter, and